Hey, what's up? My name is Ren. Welcome back to the studio. I recently made a video called How to Improve Your Art Journey with the Right Artist Mindset. Today, we're going to get even deeper into the mindset of an artist, more specifically, how to think like an artist. We're going to touch on some things, some lessons I've learned in myself along the way. Hopefully that will help you on your own personal art journey. So if that's something that interests you, definitely stick around. One of the main things that I've noticed about the way artists think is artists use their imagination. Imagination really is the cornerstone of creativity. All things start in your imagination. All creations, all artwork, all creativity that you consume started from an artist's imagination. Imagination really helps us to daydream, to speculate, to think about how things can be. And from there, imagination gives the artist sort of a platform to build on using their skills and their tools. I mean, imagination really is a topic on itself. We can make a whole video just talking about an artist's imagination, but I find imagination is the cornerstone of all art. So that really is the first thing, one of the first main things that I've noticed in the way artists think. Another component that I noticed in how artists think, or more importantly, how to think like an artist, is artists don't really think about failure. Now, this one is a tough one because we all think about failure, right? We all fail sometimes, we all fall short, we all mess up, and that's definitely something that you're going to encounter pretty early on in your art journey, and you're going to encounter this over and over and over again, and that's really the point. When you get used to the idea that you're going to mess up, that you're going to fail, you realize that is just a part of the journey. And you know, within myself, I noticed that a lot. I noticed no matter how many times I failed, no matter how many times I felt like giving up, there was something a little bit deeper that didn't want to give up, that wanted to keep going. So that helped me to accept failure as a part of the artistic process. And it helps me to sort of push that in the back of my mind, because I know that failing is a part of learning. You're gonna mess up, you're gonna fail. And I noticed that in more successful artists is they don't think about failure. They don't really consider failure, because failure is how you learn. So I think that's another great component in how artists think, and how to think like an artist is to get used to failing, is to fail in your art process and to get back up and do it anyway, to learn from that failure. Accepting failure as a part of the process brings me to my next point. Artists value process over the outcome. Artists value the process of making art over the final product, because the process is where the good stuff is. The process is how you immerse yourself into your art making. You learn so much in the art making process. You learn about yourself, very, very much so. You learn so much about yourself in the process of making art. You learn about your tools, you learn about your mediums, you learn about what you're using. There is just so much to immerse yourself in the art making process, and that's what makes art worthwhile, is the making of the art, not so much the final product. The final product, don't get me wrong, the final product is great. It's great to look at and to consume beautiful art, but at that point, the artist has gotten what they needed, so to speak, from that art piece. At that point, the art piece is really no longer your own. It belongs to the viewer, to whoever is looking at the art, who is consuming the art. But the artists themselves really find the most joy in the art making process. So that is really a great component I think that you can learn from, is artists really value the art making process over the outcome. Another component, another part in the way that I've noticed how artists think, and a way that can help you to think more like an artist, is artists make and think about art from their own perspective. I never really met an artist who fit in with the crowd, who follows trends, who goes along with what everyone else is doing. Art is about your own viewpoint, your own personal perspective. Sometimes it's about even pushing the boundaries, about being a voice for the things that you see. Artists really go against the grain a little bit. So I noticed that artists think and make art from their own personal perspective, and that can be a little bit challenging because everything else in our society is about groupthink. It's about fitting in with how everyone thinks and doing things the way everyone else does things, but not artists. Artists are here to really dispel that, to really do their own thing, and to accept that we are different and we do have our own personal viewpoints. Artists think about their own personal perspective. They're a little contrary to everything else. They're a little bit different. You know, you find quirks and different things that really make artists unique, and it all starts from the way they think. They think because they are thinking and making art from their own personal perspective, and that's something that's so important into how to have the right mindset and how to think more like an artist. So embrace your own personal viewpoint, your own personal art, what you make, what you value, and how that comes out through your own art making. Artists really do value their own perspective and their own artistic voice. So that's really a great component into how to think more like an artist.